Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your bonus reading for the person that you're dealing with. So, for many of you, this will be a love reading, but it doesn't have to be because we all deal with all different kinds of people for all different kinds of reasons. So, let's just see what comes out. So, there's the Four of Swords, the Sun, and the King of Pentacles. So this feels like a good way to start this reading. With this King of Pentacles, this is very much a Virgo energy. This is an earth energy, but it also feels like there is a lot of stability in this relationship, perhaps already a lot of history. You've already reached a lot of milestones. You've reached a lot of goals in this relationship. With the Four of Swords on your side, though, it may be that you have taken a break from this situation. But let's see, it doesn't necessarily mean that. But your person finds a lot of joy and optimism in this relationship. And the relationship itself is showing up as something with a lot of vitality. You could just be mentally relaxed and having emotional balance with the Four of Swords. There could be healing going on. But I get the impression that there has been some kind of an opportunity here for you to take some time to yourself. But it looks like if that's the case, your person hasn't really been bothered by that. It feels like they understand the intimacy in this relationship. And so they're allowing you the space that you need to do whatever this work is that you're doing for yourself. So, but let's start clarifying. For those of you that this is a work situation with this King of Pentacles, it could be that you're just taking sabbatical right now or you're taking some time off, but your boss is still looking very fondly on you. So we'll see as we go how this unfolds. The King of Pentacles is clarified by the Seven of Cups. So there is a bit of confusion. Even though this relationship feels stable and secure, at least on this side, you maybe felt confusion, felt like you weren't sure what to do, which may be why you've gone off on your own. There is definitely a feeling of isolation coming from this Four of Swords. And so I think that whatever you have already produced in this relationship, or whatever manifestations have already come in, the stability, the milestones, the goals that you've reached in this relationship, it may be that you're thinking, maybe there's something else out there for me. Maybe there's a better choice. So you're taking some time on your own to sort that out. That's what it looks like so far for you, Virgo. So, but let's see, why the King of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups? So there's the Three of Wands, the Star, and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, this feels like a very long-term commitment. We have the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. But it feels, there's just this feeling of dissatisfaction coming from your side, that you're feeling like there's got to be something more. It's like what you anticipated happening in this relationship is not really what has actually transpired in this relationship. It feels like you keep thinking things are going to change or things are going to get better, or that there would be more depth perhaps to this relationship, but it's not shown up. Regardless of the commitment, the loyalty, the time, the manifestations, the stability, regardless of all of that the two of you have brought in, there is this feeling of anticipation on your side that you're waiting for something to happen, but you feel like it's never going to happen. But your person is showing up as the Sun and the Star, which tells me that they are really holding out hope for you because it feels like you are their everything, which may be why they're allowing you some time to take a break from this to make sure this is what you want. So the Sun on their side is clarified by Temperance. They feel like a very balanced person. This is a very balanced energy, someone who's willing to compromise with you, someone who's willing to give you the space that you need because they have so much clarity that you are their person, and because they have a lot of hope that you're going to return right back to them because they know that you are their person. So they feel very confident to me that they can let you go because it's like they know you're going to come back. So the Sun and Temperance are with the Page of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and 8 of Cups. This is a person with the 8 of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Well, and really with the Wheel of Fortune, they're all giving this message that this is someone who has in the past had emotional patterns, that perhaps they were emotionally detached, or they had cycles with people in their lives, maybe with you. But the Page of Pentacles coming in with that, because that's the card of the student, your person has learned a lot of lessons when it comes to their emotional patterns. And so maybe the two of you were stuck in some kind of emotional pattern that you needed to disconnect from, that you thought was going to get better. So it feels like the pentacles were fine. The stability was fine. The longevity was fine. The loyalty was fine. But the emotional parts and the intimate parts of the relationship is what was suffering. And so I think that your person learned that. That may be why you had to separate. That might be why they learned, because you pulled back in some way or another. You pulled your energy back with this 4 of Swords. So whether you left physically or whether you just left energetically or emotionally, you did. But it looks like they've really learned from that. So now the wheel is really starting to turn for them, because they've cleared out a lot of emotional blockages that perhaps were getting in the way of this relationship, which is why you were saying maybe there's a better option out there for me. So the 4 of Swords is clarified by the 4 of Wands. So I get the sense that you stayed physically with this person, but you energetically and emotionally pulled yourself back. That's what this is saying. That you're not saying I'm throwing in the towel completely, because we have so much history between us, but you're also saying, but I'm not going to invest any emotions into this because I feel like this has not gone deep. So there's the 3 of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the 5 of Pentacles. So you still would like to engage with this person. You're leaning towards this person. And I can tell because the Ace of Wands is pointing straight at the relationship, which means that you still have a desire to be here. You know that there's probably a new beginning here, a fresh beginning, because your person cleared out their emotional blockages. And I can also tell that you're still engaged in this and you still have feelings, because you're showing up as a 5 of Pentacles. So you wouldn't be feeling left out if it was something that you wanted. If it was something that you didn't want, you wouldn't feel like you were on the outside of it. So I do get the sense that you feel that this is trending in the right direction. This relationship is ascending in some ways, and you're still very connected to it. And again, I think on a physical level, you're still connected to this in one way or another. So in other words, you're still talking, you're still live together, you're still married, whatever the situation is. But I feel like you, again, have just disconnected your energy because you didn't want to get hurt anymore. You felt like you wanted to go deep, but you couldn't. But now this person feels like they're almost ready to do that. Or at a minimum, they've learned the lessons about that. So we'll see if they're actually ready to do it or not. I think with the 3 of Pentacles on the external, you've been just busy working, or busy working with whatever it is that you do in your daily life. If it's your home, it's your family, your job, your passion projects, whatever that is, you've kept yourself busy doing that while you were trying to sort out what you really wanted from this situation, or even what this person could give you. So the 10 of Pentacles is with the Queen of Cups. So there is so much love between the two of you, which is why I think your person is still hopeful, which is why you're still connected. You're very much connected to each other. Whether you like it or not, you really are. So why the 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups? So there's the 9 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, and 3 of Cups. So this 3 of Cups is really a card of friendship. And in this case, this could be a friend that you are dealing with. This could absolutely be a friend that you've been friends with for a very long time, but yet you feel like you just can't connect in that deep emotional way. If this is a relationship for you, a love interest, this is also about being friends. And part of being a friend to anyone is being heard and listening. Listening and being heard are so important to friendships. So I feel like that's happening. I think your person really is showing up as trying to be as stable here for you as they possibly can, because they are so committed to you, because they know that you are their forever person. They know that they belong in a union with you. They belong in a partnership with you. They want to build with you. But yet you still show up as you feel like you're the only one fighting for this. So maybe they're not telling you that they've changed, or that they've cleared these emotional blocks, or that they have hope, or that they love you, or that they're building with you, or that they want this with you, that you are their person. Because with the Nine of Wands is a very lonely energy. The Nine of Wands is about feeling like you're the only one still standing, that everyone went home. The fight's not over, but everybody went home. So why am I the only one still standing here fighting? So you see yourself as that. So I get the impression that you feel that your person is not fighting for this, and they might not be. They might not be fighting for it, but they want it. They've cleared out their blockages. Their energy is moving again, and they are leaning towards you. They love you. They want to build with you, but you might have no idea. And that might be why this Three of Cups is here, because it feels like you're not being heard, perhaps, or maybe they're not being heard, or maybe they're not expressing themselves for you to be able to hear them. So let's look at the Eight of Cups. Wow, the Eight of Cups just was clarified by the Eight of Cups. I love when that happens. It's why I love cards. This again is those emotional patterns that they've cleared. But because we're seeing the Eight of Cups twice, it does make me feel like you've gone around and around and around and around with this person so many times, because we're seeing it twice. You've gone back and forth with this person. They've detached and attached and detached and attached so many times that you just said, forget it. I can't do this I can't take it. Enough is what this is telling me. So, but let's see. Why the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Cups? I really do feel like this is about them learning about their own emotional patterns. So there's the Three of Swords, the Lovers, and the Tower. They broke their own heart. If they detached from you in the past, like if they were the first ones to detach, they broke their own heart with the Tower and the Three of Swords. They brought this Tower on themselves. Because if you were in a really long-term committed relationship, but yet it was one where the emotions were always confusing with that Seven of Cups, if they would come in really strong, but then detach and disappear, and then come in really strong and detach and disappear, that affected you over time. You said after a while, I can't allow my heart to be in this position anymore. So you pulled way back. That's how they broke their own heart, because they lost you and they lost your energy with this Three of Swords and the Tower. With the Lovers on the external, they may have had a really bad, significant karmic choice that they made. Some kind of a deception, not necessarily with a lover, but some high-level choice that they made that they knew they weren't supposed to make, some kind of a deception. And that was the final straw for you, this Four of Swords. And that's when their Tower hit. That's when their own heart was broken. And that's how they learned that they create these self-sabotaging patterns by themselves. But they're really trying to overcome this. I feel a resilience coming from this because we have the Sun and the Star and the Page of Pentacles. But there's still this feeling of self-sabotage. I don't like it in this row here, that these decisions that they make are so self-sabotaging and sabotaging the relationship that it may be why you're still over here saying, well, I'm keeping myself out of this until I see some real change, because I'm not going to be the only one fighting for someone who's just going to sabotage the entire thing. So the Five of Pentacles on your side is with the Sun, which I'm going to flip over. I think that you know you're going to be fine regardless. I think, Virgo, that you know that if you need to just focus on you, you're going to find your own happiness within. You might even find more happiness outside of this relationship because the Five of Pentacles is with the Sun. So your happiness could come from being outside of this. But let's see, why the Five of Pentacles and the Sun? So the Emperor just flipped out. This is about your power and your discipline over your own stress with the Eight of Swords. I'm going to shuffle that back in, but it feels like you have learned a lot about yourself just by pulling back your energy and standing in that Emperor power. So there's the Queen of Swords, Seven of Wands, and Seven of Swords. I think you're realizing just how frustrating this relationship is. And honestly, I can't blame you because I'm still seeing this person showing up as a self-saboteur. So I'm with you that how much longer can you stand? You've got the Seven of Wands, you've got the Nine of Wands. You really wanted this to work with the Ace of Wands, but at some point you have to realize that you're just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, but there's no one else there and it's going nowhere. This person feels a lot for you. They love you. They have hope. There's lessons being learned. There's blockages being cleared. There's longevity. There's so much here, but yet it feels like your person is just not comfortable in that energy. When that happens, when everything is going great, it's like they need to do something to break that down. And that's their own shadow work. That's their own wounds. That really has nothing to do with you. And I think with this Seven of Swords and Queen of Swords, you're really cutting out the BS. You're cutting out that frustration. The sevens can very much often be about frustration and being knocked completely out of your comfort zone. And the Queen of Swords, though, can see right through that. She rises above that and says, I don't need to be frustrated by this. In fact, I don't need this at all. So you do have a clear boundary set, and you are facing this way now that you're thinking more about just working on yourself, or maybe finding other people to hang out with, or other people to work with, or other people to collaborate with, or other people to date, whatever this is for you, because we do have the Three of Pentacles on your exterior energy. So let's get you some final advice. So we have the Lovers, which I'm going to flip over. So far, that's telling me that this could have been a very high level. Look at that, Ten of Swords just popped out. So that is the ending to a very painful pattern. But we saw that. We saw the pattern because the Eight of Cups came out twice. So it feels very clear that this is the end of this situation for you, that this could have been a very high level spiritual relationship, but not if your person comes in and continues to sabotage it and doesn't want to do the healing or the work or be vulnerable enough to say how much they love you and how much they've learned from this. If they can't say that to you, then how are you going to feel like anyone is showing up for you? So let's see. So there's the Eight of Wands, the Empress, and the World. Didn't we just say that? Didn't we just say the Two of Swords is underneath everything? And this is about your inner vision. This is about confidence. It's that Emperor energy that we saw. But didn't we just say this is a completion of a cycle, a painful cycle? That's what the World is. The World is about a successful completion. You're done with this. You have spiritually awakened. You are in alignment as the Empress. You're ready to go birth something wonderful into creation, into the world on your own, because this is done. The lesson has been learned here. This is complete. This situation is done and you are free to move on from it. And the cards just verified that. This person needs a lot of healing. So there you go, Virgo. That is your bonus reading for the person that you're dealing with. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.